Bucky's Basement. Bucky's Basement.
Welcome to this episode of Bucky's Basement. I'm Bucky, and as always in the basement with me today, I have Old Boy
in living color
and Juicebox.
Good evening.
And we are back with another episode of Cage Fight. This is our mini series that we are doing for you guys during March Madness. We are pinning 28 cages against each other and fighting to the death. And we have finally made it to the third. What do I call the
not tier, but yeah.
What do you call this? The
quadrant.
This is the sailor bracket.
This bracket, the sailor bracket. We've gone through the Cameron Poe bracket. We've gone through the Castor Troy bracket, and now we're in the sailor bracket, so we are only one away from getting out of this first round. And how fitting, because last night Juicebox and I took a ride down the street to the Belcourt Theater to see Sailor in all of his glory. On the big screen in 1993's David Lynch film Wild at Heart, and sold out theater. It was amazing.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It was awesome, man. And hearing people's reactions, like I was surprised at what like people laughed at, you know.
Oh.
And there was stuff that people laughed at that was like, why are you laughing? This part is just straight up awesome. Like maybe that's it. Maybe when people see something awesome, their instinct is to laugh or whatever. But I'm just sitting there like, God damn that! Every frame of this movie is a masterpiece.
Were they laughing when Willem Dafoe blew his head off?
People
were shocked.
That was a cheer.
Yeah,
there was like a big pop right there.
The dude that was sitting next to me, like that was a stranger. I didn't know who it was. Definitely had not seen the movie before because like every reaction he had, I was just like, oh man, he hadn't seen it. So then when there was a part coming up, I was just like waiting for his reaction. It was great.
And it's
almost like watching it vicariously for the first time.
How are the Laura Derns?
I was gonna bring this up. I was gonna say Juicebox probably doesn't want me to bring this up, but Laura Dern's on the big screen. I mean, holding up. Like he said, it's not only that; it's all the weird people in the movie. It's just seeing that Isabella Rossellini, like, just up in person, like, you're just like, dude, some of these acting skills are incredible.
Yeah.
It's still a weird-ass movie, and it's a whole fun ride from the start to the finish.
So, did you guys, on the second viewing, did you get the Wizard of Oz parallels better?
Yeah, I noticed lots of stuff that I didn't notice, or maybe I'd forgotten the first time, like when we reviewed it a year and a half ago, or however long ago that was.
When you're stuck in a black box with a bunch of people, and the only thing you can look at is this movie, there is so much Wizard of Oz in it, and I did not realize that in the beginning.
I mean, it's every scene. We mentioned it in the podcast. I feel like
that
it's like in almost every scene they do something.
There's some call out. Well, dude, I was actually reading something about him after he passed that he hid a lot of, or maybe didn't hide, but Wizard of Oz was a huge influence on him, and he incorporated in a lot of this stuff. So it wasn't just this movie, which is.
Yeah, it's funny, when we got to the theater, we were waiting on everybody to get out of Wizard of Oz, and Juicebox said that was probably a thing that they did.
Intentional
for him,
for sure.
And there were a ton of people in Wizard of Oz that we were waiting for coming out. Anyway, the reason we're talking about Sailor and 1993's fucking masterpiece, Wild at Heart,
1990
or so 1990. I mistook that. Is because this is the Sailor bracket. As we mentioned, Castor Troy, Cameron Poe, Sailor, and Little Junior Brown all get buys in our tournament because we have 28 teams. They were the four that we deemed that could murder the rest of this entire field. And we're going to see if that holds up. But in order to get to Sailor, like final boss, you have to start with a first round. And today on Cage Fight, the all-new limited series on Bucky's Basement, we have 3 fights up for you. Fight number 1 is Randy from 1983's Valley Girl, and the first podcast that we ever did on Casting Cage, reviewing Nick Cage movies in chronological order.
Yep, true.
We have Randy is facing off against Dale Cobble, a.k.a. Longlegs, from 2024's title Longlegs. Fight number 2. All right. It Could Happen to You, 1994's Charlie Lang, our famed cop who gets a winning lottery ticket.
Yep. Shares it with the waitress.
And
Has the worst wife on the face of the planet.
yes, fuck Rosie Perez.
I think the lottery's the only thing he's going to win in his life.
We're going to see, because today he is up against 1987's Moonstruck lead Ronny. Ronny, give me the big knife, bread-making brother, wife stealer Ronny. Or I guess he still's is it widow?
I mean, she is a widow, but it's his brother's
His brother's fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, all right, fight number 3, because we are here for 3 fights on this week's episode of Cage Fight, is 1994's Guarding Tess, Doug Chesnick, Secret Service agent, hired to guard the wife of the ex-president, which is strange enough, against 1995's Leaving Las Vegas Best Actor Nick Cage as Ben Sanderson. And we're excited about this fight because it's the one that's going to round out this entire episode. And you're talking, he won Best Actor for this, so you better come with some punches, whoever has Ben Sanderson.
Man,
okay.
This is how we're going to do this. We have 3 fights tonight.
Right.
Again, like I said, up first is Randy from 1983's Valley Girl versus Dale Cobble, a.k.a. Longlegs, from 2024's Longlegs. I have drawn Randy for this fight. And,
it's me versus you. Oh, yeah.
And Old Boy has drawn Dale Cobble, a.k.a. Longlegs. The way we do this is we throw a good old rock, paper, scissors to see who goes first. We're going to explain this whole episode just really quick. You get 2 minutes to give your opening.
You get 3 minutes.
3 minutes to give your opening. I should give this to you. You're wearing this stuff.
Yeah, that's right. I'm the judge on this official episode.
Explain how this is going down.
Yeah.
So each person gets a 3-minute opening argument. Then there is a 1-minute rebuttal from each person. And then the judge asks questions, and then the judge makes a decision.
And the judge looks a little different this week.
Oh, yeah, the judge has to wear this wig and glasses.
Yeah.
Oh, and glasses.
And glasses.
Yeah, this is not just a fashion statement.
Okay.
I can't tell what's going on here.
Look like a shop teacher.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
You look like you're still in the band The Who.
Which one am I?
I don't know. Just old and in a tribute band.
Did I get a copy of that Tommy pinball machine?
No, kid.
The crazy thing is we're all going to have to wear this because we all square off against each other in this particular episode of Cage Fight.
Right.
So the judge has to wear the powdered wig as well as the Ben Franklin glasses.
Yeah.
Is this only going to be funny for us?
It just makes sense. If you're listening to us right now, this is a good opportunity to say you should switch over from your favorite podcast network to YouTube. Type in Bucky's Basement. All these episodes are up on there for you to view. We're in a beautiful basement here. Juicebox is wearing an incredible wig and glasses. We're about to go toe-to-toe, throw in rock, paper, scissors so you can see that and make sure we're not cheating.
Let's get it started.
Let's go. Cage fight. Fight number 1.
Ready?
Ready. 1, 2, 3. Shoot.
Throw it towards the
Got
camera.
him.
Oh, yeah, duh.
It's all good.
All right.
Doesn't matter. Still got you. My
It's
scissors.
probably all off camera, actually.
My scissors beats Old Boy's paper.
Yep.
We are going up. Fight number 1, Longlegs versus Valley Girl, Randy versus Dale Cobble. I'm going to give you the honors,
Thank you.
obviously.
Let me take this clown out real quick.
Because
All right. Tell me when you're ready.
All right, go. My man, Longlegs, is a straight personification of evil. He's eluded the FBI for decades. Decades, man. Decades, including the 80s. He's got dark magic. Dark magic dolls that corrupt people into murdering their families and whoever else is in the way. And guess what? Randy, Valley girls are susceptible to. Randy doesn't have a fucking worry in the world. Yeah, he's a street tough, but when the street in question is Rodeo Drive, how tough can he be? He's going to pick up his girl and take her to some sweet makeout spot, but then he's wondering why she's acting so strange and won't put out, and why are her eyes glowing red like that. And where'd she get that fucking knife? poor Randy is just an enigmatic. He's just an enigmatic death for the FBI to unravel for years to come, if they're lucky enough to find a clairvoyant on their team that was chosen by the demon to be haunted. You see what I mean? Longlegs only got caught because it was part of his plan. His plan is for his victim to kill her own murderous mother. This is too twisted of a world for Randy. He should just go back to hanging out at that soft rock club or playing arcade games or whatever he does. He's not even like a punk, man. Like, he's not, like, I was looking up the description and it said Hollywood punk, and I was like, Hollywood punk is like an
oxymoron.
Oxymoron, there you go. I feel like real punks would probably curb stop Randy. Randy got thrown out of a party by a bunch of rich prep dudes. That was his biggest obstacle. Yeah, he beat up Tommy, but is that really an accolade? Is that really an accolade? I rest my case.
All right. You had 50 seconds left, so
It's all right. I mean, my guy is a literal demon from hell who killed himself. So
not sure that helps your argument.
You still using your time,
but it's
or
yeah, I'm out.
you either say you're out or you keep going.
It's fine.
Save it for your rebuttal. You
Oh,
should
yeah.
have used that remaining 50 seconds.
I guess.
I'm about to,
Okay, you
Oh,
ready?
you're about to take me to town with
Go.
Randy?
Longlegs, 2024's Longlegs.
Yeah.
I want anybody out there to raise their hand if they've seen Longlegs because of how frightful the preview could be, or what it could be. Yeah, we're looking at this picture right now. That's a pretty scary picture. I want to tell you about Randy, okay, from 1983's Valley Girl. All right, Randy is a city punk. You brought that up. That a city punk in the Valley in 1983. He grew up in the streets in the movie Valley Girl. He tries to fight a gang of lowriders while he's drunk in the middle of the movie. Doesn't give a fuck, right? It takes some balls to fight multiple guys. It really does, especially when you're by yourself. He also, as you also brought up, beats the shit out of Tommy, the typical 80s tough guy in school. This fight takes place at a prom, and Randy still gets the girl, right? Nobody's embarrassed by this because they all want Tommy taken out. Nobody could take him out but Randy in school. There's something about street kids, okay? He lived in his car. He lived in his car, for fuck's sake, right? Even Nick Cage lived in his car to prepare for this character. They're tough. They've been through a lot, and they have very little to lose because they came from nothing. High schoolers are also, I want to bring up, making a comeback. Especially when it comes to horror villains. As much as I hate to bring this up, I have to reference the most recent Halloween movie. High school kids are young, they're tough, they have stamina, and honestly, they have nothing to lose because they haven't really accomplished much yet. The last thing I want to bring up about Randy before I start shitting on Dale Cobble and Longlegs is that triangle chest hair is intimidating, right? You rip off your shirt in front of this skinny, pale, cross-dressing motherfucker.
You mean embarrassing?
And he would just cower at the knees right then because of the sex appeal of Randy, right?
30 seconds.
Let's get into Longlegs, right? Is this even a debate? I mean, this could be the least scary horror villain of all time. Dainty voice, doesn't kill anything, has a nun do all his bidding, right? Longlegs creates a sphere ball that goes inside a doll and makes people kill themselves. Randy would beat the shit out of old Dale before he could even make the doll. Longlegs can't even scare the high school girl in the general fucking store.
Okay.
I'll stop. I've got so much.
I love how you said tried to fight some lowrider. Like, what is a lowrider street gang anyway? All right, so he doesn't kill. He gets other people to kill people. Man, he's an infection. he gets into a family or people and they murder each other and there's no damn stopping it. So once he's in, he's in. And Dale Cobble, Longlegs, could infiltrate any fucking family, friend group, Valley Girl, high school, whatever. He doesn't care. He doesn't care about any of that shit. He's just out to fuck with you. He's evil. He's evil and he does murder. He just gets other people to do it. And that's all there is to it. Randy is too busy trying to get a hand job.
Is that you rest your case on that?
Longlegs' finisher is Randy's dad comes out of the kitchen and stabs him to death.
All right, you ready for your rebuttal?
Yeah.
Go.
On his birthday.
Dale Cobble, a.k.a. Longlegs, doesn't kill anyone. They kill themselves. That is something that I want to put up there, right? The only way Dale Cobble can kill people is creating this little sphere that goes inside a doll, right? If we're talking about a fight and they see each other in the street, you think fucking Dale Cobble's carrying around a doll with them with a little sphere in their head? No, because that would kill whoever he's close to. Randy sees him in the fucking alley. He starts talking shit. He beats up this old crazy fucking looking dude, right? This is you said he eluded police for decades. You know what? So did Buffalo Bill. And how did they do that? They hid in a fucking house, right? Bunch of pussies hiding in a fucking basement or an attic in Dale Cobble's situation and just sitting up there. That's how you elude police. You hide, right? Randy's not hiding. He's out in the street fucking fighting lowriders.
You're saying he's fighting lowriders?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
He's a transformer.
That's the name of the gang.
Okay.
The lowrider gang. You just looked that shit up on Wikipedia too. I saw the same thing. I was like, Bucky's gonna bring up a gang of lowriders. I know that's gonna be his thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, gosh, I guess I have a couple of questions. One thing I do want to say is you're kind of clowning on him, saying he was a Hollywood punk. I feel like Hollywood in the 80s was maybe a little more rough than it is now. I don't know if that really helps his argument too much, but
Yes, it absolutely was.
No.
Yeah, you got the Valley and you got
It's probably
Hollywood.
better than it is now.
I don't know about that.
I think
Anyway,
this is like Century City. This is like
No,
yeah.
no, the Valley is like Franklin. Hollywood's like Antioch.
yeah, he wasn't from the Valley technically. Anyway, so my question is, to like kind of go along with what we've already been saying, has Longlegs ever technically killed somebody?
I mean, I think it's all about him killing people. I mean, it's. I mean,
You're just lying to
But I mean, you
yourself.
have to think about this. You know, we've already established this is like a one-on-one match, basically. You can't like
use outside.
They can't
forces.
use outside forces, so he can't call in the nun. So has he ever killed somebody?
I'm saying he's had to have killed somebody. I mean, so not only has he eluded people for like decades, right? They've gone back. I can't remember how many decades they went back. They said he was doing this,
Right.
but to think his hands aren't dirty is inconceivable.
Okay. So, does Randy have it in him to take on Longlegs? All he's done really is beat up a high school bully.
Absolutely, he has it. I mean, if you want to sit here and do an interview across a table for half a movie with his weird voice and all that, that's fine, right? He has never killed anyone. Randy has that killer in him, right? It just hasn't come out yet because he's young. In high school, you don't want to kill somebody, right? You want to wait till you're old and withered and look like a fucking, golden girl before you actually do those things. He still has ambition in him. He wants to get the girl. Again, you saw it at prom. He beat the shit out of the main bro in the movie. Behind a curtain opens, stands up with the fucking beauty queen, the prom queen, and I mean, she wins. He's a winner, and he's not gonna back down. Like I said, he tried to fight those lowriders.
Yeah, he fought
He's
the
out of his
lowriders.
league,
Okay.
dude. He's out of his league.
Okay.
But if he comes face to
Okay.
face with this skinny old
In a
man,
dark alley,
this
he's gonna
skinny
get
old
got.
man,
All
He's
right,
gonna
all
get
right,
got.
all right. That's enough. I'm ready to give you my judgment. So, I'm gonna go Randy. Mainly for the argument. The Halloween argument kind of sold me, honestly. Like a young fucking high school kid beating the shit out of a fucking like old killer who's not even really a killer.
I had to use it.
I don't know. I don't feel like Dale has it in him to like physically attack and fight somebody. He doesn't. I don't know. I don't feel like he can take on a young street
Did you
punk.
see how forceful he headbutt himself to death? I think he's got plenty of fucking force.
You
But
should have brought that
he's
up
a-
in your argument.
he's an old-
This is,
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know. He's like an old man who's been making dolls in a basement for 40 years. I don't know.
And planning fucking fallout and murder to like.
it's a witchcraft.
I'm just saying I don't think he could fight a person.
Randy doesn't believe in witchcraft.
Right, and that's
Randy's-
what's gonna get him killed.
No, it's not.
Yeah, Randy never made it out of his street punk life, so he'll die the next round.
All right, the first fight is over, and we have Randy moving on to the second round. And
Can I take this stuff off now? These glasses are painful.
Yeah, do we have to wear the glasses?
Man, I had to wear the fucking glasses.
I'm wearing the glasses. Randy wins over Dale Cobble. This is a bad part of the bracket because now he goes up against the one and only Sailor from Wild at Heart in the next round. But in order to fill out that next round,
God, he's a street punk. Hollywood street punk.
in order to
Hollywood
fill,
street punk versus North South Carolina street punk.
Yeah.
yep.
Randy will probably go all the way.
So in order to fill out that second round, we have to move on to the second fight of this week's episode of Cage Fight. I am so excited about this second fight that I have now transformed into the judge of the evening for fight number 2.
It's hard to look at that.
that's what
Believe
we
me,
felt like.
it wasn't easy looking at you when you were wearing
I
it.
can understand.
I am donning the powdered wig
Said
and
your name was
the
Dottie.
glasses as I was. I don't know, what are we, like 1700s judges?
Yeah, I guess.
All right. So I get to judge round number 2. The way to do this is we're going to do a good old-fashioned rock, paper, scissors. This is Juicebox representing Charlie Lang from It Could Happen to You and Old Boy representing Ronny from Moonstruck. Whenever you guys are ready.
All right.
You call
On
it.
3. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Old Boy throws rock. Juicebox throws scissors. We have Old Boy.
Let me see. Charlie Lang. You know what? I'm going to go first.
All right.
Ronnie's got the big knife, and he's not afraid to use it. I want to go ahead and point out that he's missing a hand, which could easily be outfitted with a hook or a trident or maybe a chainsaw. I underestimated Ronnie, you guys. He might be the toughest son of a bitch out there. Like, he might be the toughest Cage character because he not only puts up with Cher's shit, he actually plans to marry her also. So you got to keep that in mind. Ronnie's secretly, not secretly, also a werewolf. And I know we kind of hinted at this, but like, there's no other reason for the whole moon thing in that movie. So while Charlie Lang's out patrolling the streets and a full moon arises, no one is safe. Even this beat cop who will try to be a hero only to have his throat slashed and guts torn out. This one's simple. This is easy to me. Also, Cher's a big lady, and remember...
You mean tall.
Remember, Cher's a big lady with a lot of attitude. Probably more attitude than most of the characters in this bracket. She cowed Danny Aiello. She was a powerhouse of a nag, and Ronnie tamed that beast. Threw her over his shoulder like a sack of potatoes and then proceeded to mash him. He's an alpha. I don't see him. I see him taking out pretty much anybody with his weapon missing hand and his big knife. I'll rest.
All right. With that being said, we now have the argument from Ronny from Moonstruck. Now it is It Could Happen to You's Charlie Lang represented by Juicebox.
Ronnie is a werewolf like Peter Lowe is a vampire. Let's just be honest about that. It's never established that he is some sort of werewolf. Ronnie is actually a one-armed baker who lost his arm in a bread slicer. A baker who lost his arm in a bread slicer. A baker who lost his arm in a bread slicer. Like, Are you trying to tell me he wasn't familiar with this piece of machinery? Then he tries to blame it on his brother because his brother was talking to him while he was using the bread slicer. He was talking to him. Okay, so just for the record, I worked at Panera Bread back in the day. I probably sliced hundreds of loaves of bread, usually while listening to music and talking to people that work there. And guess what? I got both hands. Meanwhile, as a New York City police officer, Charlie Lang has to be on it all the time. He faces bigger distractions than someone talking to him and still manages to do a job. He's also super cool under pressure. He's not going to get rattled by Ronnie's outlandish behavior. He sees that every day on the job. He delivered a baby on a bus. He knew that his favorite bodega was being robbed when it seemed like everything was normal to a regular person. He snuck into the back of the store undetected, shows he's stealthy, and delivered a can of beans directly to the face of the robber. Oh, he was also unfazed by being shot in the arm in the process. But make no mistake, Charlie Lang can and will use his gun to defend himself if necessary. Let's not forget, he is a cop. They've been known to be a little bit trigger happy at the first sign of danger. So please, let Ronnie call out that big knife, and we'll see what happens.
All right, that is a great opening argument for Charlie Lang. It could happen to you. I can't even remember his name. It's so plain. We got Charlie Lang. All right, so we have rebuttals of 1 minute apiece, and we're going to start with Old Boy on his rebuttal.
I'm pretty sure he's a werewolf.
Not
He's
established.
hairy like a werewolf, and I rest my case. That's all I got.
All right, that was an incredible 12-second rebuttal. Juicebox, here we go.
I guess the only other thing I would say is usually we've said that like if a character has brothers, maybe they're a little bit tougher. But Ronnie's brother was Danny Aiello, so like even that's not really going to help him out very much.
It's so tough.
All right, that's fine. I got some questions. I'm going to start with Ronnie and his hand. Mm-hmm. And the bread slicer incident that Juicebox brings up.
Right.
He loses his hand in a bread slicer, which he should be familiar with this piece of machinery. While talking to his brother, what do you think would happen if he got in a fight and tried to wield the big knife?
I mean, he would wield it with precision, right? Like, I mean,
because he only has one hand.
Right. So he's had to become accustomed to fighting and doing things with one hand. So he'd be adept. Like, he'd be really adept at one hand knife fighting.
Yeah. As
What
long
would
as
he
no-
use
As
this-
long as no one talked to him.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
That's
as long
what we
as Charlie
brought up.
Lang just shut
Just
the
don't
fuck
distract
up.
him.
Yeah.
What would he do with the other hand in the fight?
Well, it depends what he's got connected to it, right?
Okay,
and is
so
this
are we
pre
going
or
back
after?
to a chainsaw?
Yeah. Is this pre or after he's a werewolf?
We've established, and I'm going to go ahead and set this for the record because I am the judge. The word werewolf should not be brought up again in this case. I'm throwing the word werewolf out.
All right. Can I tell you his finisher before you rule out werewolf?
Yeah, real quick, before you tell me his finisher, I have one more simple question for you.
Yeah, go for it.
If he can't even handle a bread slicer and he can't handle Cher and her attitude,
he handles Cher. That's what
how
makes
he's
him so tough.
how he's gonna handle a cop?
He handles Cher, which makes him so tough. Charlie Lang couldn't handle Rosie Perez. You think he could handle Cher?
Okay.
Boom, dude. So here's his finisher. As he's turned into a werewolf. He says, "Life is bread, and I'm tired of fucking bread."
All right, Juicebox, I have a question for you. Old Boy actually brings up a good point in his argument. Ronnie was able to handle Cher in the end. And when we talk about Charlie Lang and his handlement of Rosie Perez, do you think that would matter in a fight against Ronnie to the death?
I don't know that it would because I feel like that's his one weak spot. Is like that was his high school sweetheart and they got married young and he's just trying to help make it work. Like it's his blind spot, you know? I don't know. I don't feel like that would hurt him in his fight against Ronnie because
Okay,
he's still a trained police officer.
Agreed. He is a trained police officer, but we have seen sympathy and empathy in the past. So I guess my second question to you would be,
Here we go again.
he feels for people. He can step inside their shoes, and he feels sorry for them. All across the board, Charlie Lang is a good guy.
Sure.
And yes, he's a cop. You have to learn how to use a gun. You have to learn how to be intuitive and aware of your surroundings and, see what's going on, robberies, things like that. Do you honestly, to your core, after watching It Could Happen to You, believe that Charlie Lang has it in him to murder someone?
If someone's coming after him, yeah. He's a trained police officer. If someone's coming after him, he'll pull a gun and shoot him, or he'll incapacitate him somehow. He's been trained to do that.
It's self-defense.
That's my argument.
I hope he has silver bullets.
Okay. This one's difficult. This could be the most difficult one.
A chainsaw wielding werewolf is tough.
I mean,
yeah.
We can't talk hypotheticals here.
Too bad that's not the character.
We watched two different movies, I guess.
I think we did.
So after watching Moonstruck, which let me plug this real quick, Cher wins Best Actress award for that movie. I didn't care for it too much. God, this is very difficult, but I'm going to have to go for the training, and I'm going to have to go for the position of the job, and I'm going to take a cop over a bread maker any day of the week, even though Ronnie looks great in a wife beater, and the way he stoked that fire with that bread was pretty intense. And if he just had that knife and wielding down like that, it would have been a little bit more believable. Fight number 2 goes to 1994. It's It Could Happen to You, Charlie Lang.
That was tough because honestly, like,
I don't think it was like it.
Well, it was tough for me because honestly, I know you guys hated it, but I liked Moonstruck better than I liked It Could Happen to You, and I like the character Ronnie better than I like the character Charlie Lang. Like I feel like he's a more complicated character, and he's like, so it was like, I don't know.
If you would have leaned off of the chainsaw and the werewolf,
I think
and leaned into his intensity and what he is willing to do, I was almost there for Ronnie.
Yeah, Ronnie for me was he was difficult to argue. He's just he's one dimensional. I think I don't know the bread thing about slicing off his own hand is yeah, and a great argument on the Danny Aiello fighting your brother thing because that's not a strength. So it was tough for me to defend him. So I had to go outside the box.
All right, Charlie Lang makes it to the next round. We have one fight left in this episode, and that is the big one. That is 1994's Guarding Tess, which is Doug Chesnick in 1994. 1995's Leaving Las Vegas, Ben Sanderson.
All right, I guess I'm the judge on this one. All right, I'm back.
All right, so Juicebox and I are going to throw Rochambeau at the screen on the count of 3 to see who goes first for this final fight, which is Doug Chesnick versus Ben Sanderson, 2 heavyweights in the Nick Cage-averse. Ready?
Ready.
1, 2, 3. Ooh, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Dang. 3 papers in a row versus 2 papers in a rock.
I know. You were either going to go one way or the other. You were not going to go paper 3 times.
And Juicebox gets to decide, is it going to be Doug Chesnick from 1994's Guarding Tess or Ben Sanderson from 1995's Leaving Las Vegas?
I'm going to go first tonight.
Ooh, I like that.
It's
like Eminem in the last scene of 8 Mile.
Yeah, you said that on the last episode.
You referenced that last time.
You got to get some new
Points
jokes,
against.
brother.
Points against.
Sorry, Judge.
Yeah,
Can we strike that from the record?
You need to be quiet.
All right. So Doug Chesnick is a Secret Service agent that can't see the writing on the wall. There's a reason he was delegated to the widowed former First Lady, and it wasn't just because she had like a thing for him. It's because he's lost a step, mentally and physically. Think about it. If he was really a good agent, wouldn't they want him protecting someone a little more important than the former First Lady? No offense. And he can't even do that. The damn chauffeur kidnaps Tess right in front of him. And there's a reason the local cops make fun of him. It's because even they can see he's done. He's washed up. The problem is, Doug doesn't see it, what makes him overly confident in skills that he doesn't even have. Enter Ben. Ben does not give a fuck about anything. His job, his friends, his family, his health, being alive. He doesn't give a shit. Unlike Doug, Ben knows he's on his way out. He's drinking himself into a stupor and drunk driving all over the place. He's at the end of his life savings and has nothing to lose. He would run down Doug and Tess in the middle of Las Vegas in a whole incompetent Secret Service crew in his car and not even think twice, on his way to pick up a prostitute to bang at his girlfriend prostitute house. I rest my case.
Strong case. You got,
Wow.
Still got a minute and a half. All right.
I'm good.
All right. I'm representing the one and only Doug Chesnick from 1994's Guarding Tess. Juicebox just spent his 75% of his argument against Doug Chesnick. And that is the telltale sign right there that he has no case for Ben Sanderson.
Yup.
Let's be honest here. Doug Chesnick, do I even need to get into it? Yes, you talked about his downfalls. You talked about some of the things like he was relegated. He was taken back. He lost a step or two. He lost Tess. Okay, I get it. But look at this. Doug Chesnick
Big whoop.
is a Secret Service agent. He used to be the Secret Service agent for the president, and by becoming a Secret Service agent, you have to be highly competitive and rigorous. It requires candidates to pass multiple stages of testing, skills challenges, gun training, background checks, immaculate sense of awareness. You have to be willing to kill anybody on a dime. And he is assigned to guard Tess. She's one of the meanest women I've ever met in cinematic history, right? She probably puts hits out on people at least 4 times a month. And I have no doubts about that because why? She has Doug in her corner. Doug pulled out a gun in a hospital under FBI surveillance because he doesn't give a fuck. And he shot off the chauffeur's toes because the chauffeur lied. As soon as he pulled out that cigarette lighter, he threatened to shoot off his toes, and then he shot off a fucking toe in front of an FBI guy. Doesn't give a fuck. Sense of awareness, he found Tess in a barn buried alive and saved her by digging himself. He is a fucking American hero. I'd put this character up against any in this tournament and wouldn't think twice. And he has to put up with James Redhorn like half the fucking movie. If y'all don't know who that is, it was the FBI agent, the skinny guy who's kind of annoying and whatever. All Doug Chesnick has to do in this fight is slip Ben an airplane bottle, and he's already won. This is not even a contest. It's like a heavyweight fighter versus a lightweight. It's not even fair in the slightest, and I haven't even bashed Ben Sanderson one time. Judge, can I get the time right now?
You got 18 seconds.
To go?
Yep.
I'm gonna reserve that right
You're
for
gonna
my
retire?
rebuttal.
All right.
Because I didn't spend my time bashing my opponent.
That's your fine.
Yeah.
That's your
All right.
decision.
Juicebox, do you want to go with you ready?
Yeah.
Start.
Do you think slipping an airplane bottle to Ben is gonna do anything to him? This dude can drink a fucking airplane. This dude can mainline an airline bottle and still be fine. He has nothing to lose. He is at the end of his life. It doesn't matter like how Doug Chesnick. Sure, he used to be the Secret Service for the president. He's not anymore. In fact, he just has his job because out of respect of like what he used to be. He's lost so much that they're just like, fine, go guard this woman, and you can't even do that. Sure, he dug a hole to rescue Tess because he fucking lost her. I don't know. I just think that Doug is incompetent, and I think that Ben has absolutely nothing to lose. I don't know that Ben is a killer at heart, but you know what I'm saying? He has a car, and he is a drunk man, so he can run some people over.
All right.
When I say airplane bottle, I mean that's just the start. Like, all you have to do is give somebody a taste, and they're going downhill really quick. Because as soon as he gets that airplane bottle, he forgets about the fight and tries to find the nearest liquor store to go buy all the bottles in his little shopping cart while he runs down the store acting all cool. Ben Sanderson is a Hollywood screenwriter. He's an alcoholic. He's self-destructive. This dude moved to Vegas with the conscious decision to kill himself by drinking. To kill himself. Suicide.
So he has nothing to lose.
You're right. He has nothing to lose, but he wants to lose himself. He is searching for meaning in a meaningless world. Wah, wah, wah. We've got a fucking, like, Secret Service agent up against this alcoholic. The only thing we've ever seen old Ben do is flip over a blackjack table, and you should have brought that up as far as strength goes. He can't even get it up. Like, that's the fucking bad part about this. He's
All right,
weak.
Tom.
He has weak bones, and he's on the edge of death.
What is
So-
this weak bone bullshit you keep bringing up? Anybody that drinks, you're like, they got weak bones.
Yeah.
Anybody's an alcoholic like him.
Okay. Interesting. I'll go home and look that up later. You both make interesting cases. I enjoyed this more than I really would have thought about. All right, I'm going to ask Juicebox a question on Ben Sanderson. Is he capable of even making a plan? Like, and
I
if he-
mean, no, but
all right,
like
yeah.
that's not going to be his strong suit. His strong suit is going to be the element of surprise and you know,
It's gonna be a surprise
not-
to everyone.
yeah, he's not going to plan out some shit.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say if he could make a plan, could he even follow through with it? Bucky, how would Chesnick, with all his failings, how would he see Ben Anderson coming?
What the fuck do you mean failings? Like,
What do you mean? What do you mean?
He's accomplished Secret Service agent for
He
the
had one
United
job.
States of America and the state of Ohio.
One job.
He had one job
It failed.
to guard someone who didn't want to be. He didn't even want him to be around because she didn't feel like she was a strong woman
It doesn't
and
matter,
didn't
man.
feel like she needed to be guarded.
Doctors
She
that
didn't
have to
want him
deliver
around.
babies that don't want to be born.
Juicebox is over here talking about element of surprise for Ben
Right.
Sanderson. There is no element of surprise. You can hear him coming because he's stumbling into the fucking wall or door to try to get to wherever you're at. There's no surprise with him. We're talking
Unless you're
about
crossing the street and he just plows you over.
yeah, with his drunk driving. Let's condone that in this fight. We're talking about a Secret Service agent that his height of awareness, his height of awareness would see that coming and would push the old lady out of the way.
You're going to try to guilt me for saying something about drunk driving when we're talking about people killing each other, brother.
We create a segment where people kill each other. Is that it? All right.
I guess that's it. I mean,
I feel like that's over a minute. What's going on here?
Yeah. It was just a question. This is my questions.
I feel like that was over a minute for that question.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I was timing the question. All right.
I think our moderator's being fair, to be honest with you.
I'm trying to be because I think, in all honesty, I think my judgment has to go with Doug Chesnick, just because I just don't think our boy has the thing to live.
Yeah. No shit.
Yeah, I just
This is a fucking impossible argument.
Right.
Like, what do you want me to do? That's of course I had to come out on the attack because I am defending a fucking person that's drinking themselves to death
Right.
versus
It's
a Secret Service agent.
quite possibly, like, this guy and Frank Pierce were the two worst for me. Maybe the leaving Las Vegas or a honeymoon in Vegas guy too.
But that's the beauty
it's
about
impossible to argue.
So that's the beauty about this series and cage fight is because, you know, once we get out of this first round and we get these seeds kind of closer together, we're going to get more intense fights as this bracket and tournament goes on. and we all have to switch characters, and we never know who we're going to get. So you can take somebody's argument from the previous round who possibly won, or you can create your own argument if you were arguing against them, right? So it's going to be a whole lot of fun, this entire thing. We do these episodes every single Monday and Friday throughout the month of March, all the way up till April 7th, which is the national championship for college basketball. It is also the Final Four and national championship episode for Cage Fight.
Sweet.
And we're excited to see who is going to make it to the Final Four. Are they all going to be the first round buys and the 1 seeds, or do we have some some Cinderella stories in there? And I think Doug Chesnick could be a Cinderella story. I think
we killed all the Cinderellas.
I think Charlie Lane could be a Cinderella story.
Every single person that Old Boys had is sort of been a number 1 character, so I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
That is true. Maybe you got to get your argue on, because this ain't only a cage fight between 2 Nick Cage characters. It's a verbal fight between us, and now we have an official wig to prove it, because each and every week from here on out, or every episode, the judge has to wear the powdered wig.
That's right.
And what he says goes. That's what makes it to the next round. We're so excited to have you guys here each and every episode for this wild ride that we're on.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the updated bracket, actually.
Wherever you're listening to us, like, rate, subscribe, tell your friends. Get on YouTube. Every one of our episodes is on there. Go to buckysbasement.com. We are going to do this, and we're going to do it right. And we're going to fight to the fucking death. And when you're out in them streets,
Tell your mama and them.